Hello CAC, how's it going? Here's another PT video, this time from Cannon Beach. I'm here this week. Had 2 days of leadership meetings for our family of churches, what we call the Alliance Northwest, good meetings. And now 2 days of what we call a renewal conference, happens every year. And pastors and church leaders from the Alliance Northwest come together and we seek God together and listen for God together. It's always a great time, and I'm glad to be here this year. Yesterday was just a glorious day outside. The sun was shining and not a lot of wind. I went for a long walk on the beach and just enjoyed every minute of it. It was just glorious outside. Thankful for that. But not so today. Today the rain is back. It feels like January in Cannon Beach today. And so I took a quick little trip over to Seaside, had an errand to run, did that, got back in my car and it wouldn't start. And so I called our friends at La Schwab. They came thinking it needed to be jumped. And the battery wouldn't turn over at all, so we determined it was the starter that went out. Lots of fun. Oh no. So called a tow truck, got my car towed to an auto repair shop here in town that was recommended to me. They ordered the part. Hopefully they'll have it done tomorrow. And then I had to find a ride back to Cannon Beach, in a town where I discovered there's no Uber, there's no Lyft, but eventually I made it back here, and so all is well. And hopefully car will be ready tomorrow, but that's what happens when you drive cars. Sometimes they break down. Anyway, on to something else. What am I thinking about this week? A ton of stuff. But one thing I'm thinking about is a line from a Eugene Peterson book that I brought with me. And it's just this line where he says that our interior must be adequate to our exterior. An interior adequate to the exterior. And by the interior, of course, he means our inner life with God, our pursuit of God, our love of God, our life of faith, our life of trust, of prayer, of reading scripture, of obedience, of service, of worship. All those things that we do to try to live in and out of God, that's our interior. And then our exterior is just everything in our life. It's everything in our life. It's it's things like the culture, society, community that we live in, work in. If we're married, it's about our marriage, or our family, children, or our single life if we're a single person. It's about our job. It's about our relationships. It's about our finances. It's about our health. It's about friendships. It's about health, hurts. All those kinds of things make up our exterior life. Now, what happened 22 months ago? 22 months ago, our exterior life drastically changed with the arrival of COVID. And since then, very few things have been the same. 22 months later, we're still dealing with it. All of the changes, all of the transitions, all of the losses, everything that's been altered, everything that doesn't happen anymore, replaced by new things that we're doing, and sickness and death and COVID and quarantines and tests and masks, all that stuff. That's the exterior that we live in right now. And over the past several weeks, I'm kind of slow to figure things out sometimes, but I've kind of realized that the interior that I have was built to be adequate for a pre-COVID world. It served me pretty well in that pre-COVID world. But in the COVID world we live in, I'm finding it to be inadequate. I mean, I'm using new muscles that I didn't use before. I'm having to exercise faith and trust that I didn't have to exercise before. And there's just a number of other things that are showing where I've come up short. My interior is not adequate to this COVID reality exterior that we live in. And so I'm pondering, I'm praying, I'm talking, I'm reading, talking to other people and saying, okay, what do I have to do to retool to reshape, to reform, to renovate my interior so it's more adequate to the exterior that we find ourselves in. And I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, 22 months in, finally this has come to me. And what about you? Is your interior adequate to your exterior? And I imagine there's some of you that have made those changes and tweaks, and hats off to you. And then I'm sure there's others of you that may be in a similar place to where I am. And so I pray and I hope that together, individually and as a church, we'll be able to build, to develop, to create that interior adequate to our present exterior. That's what I'm thinking about these days. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you have a great rest of your week. I love you. Good to be seen. Wish I could see you. That's all for now. Adios. Bye-bye.